Welcome back. My name is Jeff Nichols. I'm a member of John Knox Church and also a member of the Presbyterian Matthew 25 Task Force, looking at Matthew 25. And this week, we're looking at the third and final parable in this chapter, the sheep and the goats. And in this chapter, the Son of Man, Jesus, takes his place on the throne in all his glory, and he judges the sheep and the goats. And as we know from reading this and understanding as best we can what it is to be a disciple, the sheep, or the righteous ones, are saying, well, when did we do this? And he said, well, when you clothed and fed and housed and visited those people, you were visiting me. Your discipleship has spilled over into your being, and it's what you would do if these situations came in front of you. The goats, on the other hand, the unrighteous, says, well, when did we not do it? And of course, he takes the opposite track. It says, well, when you didn't feed the hungry and clothe the naked and visit the prisoners and take care of the widows, orphans, and strangers, when you didn't do that, you were not part of my discipleship, not part of my kingdom. And so there's judgment takes place. And what I think is important to remember in this is when we do, we're really acting as Christ-like as we possibly can in our worldliness to do as best we can as disciples of Jesus to help people who need help, to be with the marginalized, to be with those people who have been shut out, and to do the best we can under those circumstances. And he's a merciful judge, but he judges nonetheless. And so by the end of this chapter, those that have been disciples are part of the kingdom and are the sheep and are rewarded, and those who aren't are sent out into darkness. It's not a good thing. So they're cast out into darkness, and let Jesus be the judge of that as he does. So in this parable, we are given the power through us and through his life and death to be those disciples, to be those people that come into his kingdom and to be the sheep. He left us the Holy Spirit, the helper, to do that, and we are to do the best we can under those circumstances. So in concluding this segment, I would just remind you that no matter what, God will always love you, never forsake you, and never leave you. The Bible, as we have looked at it, ours is a living word. It reveals new and exciting things every time we read it, especially if we read it in 3 or 4 segments each time. And Jesus is with us in spirit until the end of the age, as he said at the end of Matthew 28. In the meantime, he gives us this plan, these things to do to be disciples of him. So next week, we'll wrap it all up. And we'll talk about each of the parables, the main points to get from them, and if there are questions, we will entertain those at that time. So remember, you are not alone. God cares for you, and so do we. See you next time.